All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap live webinar for all markets. This is Bruce at Bookmap. I'll be your host. And we do this webinar every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Wednesday, we have Jay Trader, a stocks trader, at 10 a.m. And Thursday, we have Scott Pulsini, a futures trader, at 10 a.m. So we'll look at any market here that you request. Most people want to look at the S&P E-mini futures market, so that's what we cover. At any market here that you request. Most people want to look at so I am the lead educator here at Bookmap, and have about 15 years or a bit more trading experience here, and have been the order flow specialist here at Bookmap for over 8 years. And you can reach out to me at our Discord, Bruce at Bookmap number 3993, and also my Twitter handle is at Flow Order. Let's go through the disclosures, and then we'll jump in here and review yesterday's market and look at today's market. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so I first want to take a look at the bigger picture here, and it's great stuff. So here's our daily on the left-hand side. We were looking for this. It was all bullish. We talked about it many times over last week, and how we continue to kind of gap up and break out of a range in here, several ranges. This was primarily this breakout here, and then the acceptance above. And we're looking and talking about this for a long time, actually. Not only the move to 4,300, but it's talking about even looking at the weekly, and looking for this is the area here, and you can see this huge, well, it's a gap here, but that's not, it's kind of some wrong data in here, but nonetheless, it has risen above the swing here, and we're looking for the trade up to the swing up here, and then potentially pull back. Well, you can see what happened. It came up to here, went back and forth for this week right here. This is 1 week. Okay, let's just take a look at this here. This candle here is 1 week of data, and you can see the back and forth. That is the same as this here, this back and forth last week. But this breakout was bullish, and the acceptance was bullish. Okay, look at the pullbacks in here. There's no sellers in here, or I should say, in the bigger picture, there's not a lot of selling in here. And then we were looking for a potential to break above here and continue to the upside. Let's see, this is the other day here. It was kind of a breakout and then a pullback here, but then you see the continuation here, right? So yeah, we were looking for this. We had, I remember, I forget who it was. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Bill and Shadow. We were discussing this, I think last Friday, or I don't know if it was a week ago Friday, but 4,300 as being the test. And then we talked about it, and it's like, well, yeah, if it can do 4,300, here's our weekly chart. Why can't it do, like, 4,400? Why can't it do 4,500, 4,600? Up, and here's 45 up here in this swing. This looks like a great target, right? Also, here's 4,600 right here. Also looks like a great target here. Okay, this is momentum here, and we're looking to see where this might go to finally find some sellers, because it's not finding sellers right now. It is breaking out of this whole range here. Now, again, we're back on the weekly bars here. Okay, this week here is back in August of 2022, and you can see the kind of break above it, pull back, and then there's pretty big down drop here to the downside on several candles, as you can see, several weeks. to explore these lows in here, and then you see the buyers come back into these areas here, and then the really choppy and back and forth in here. And this is our breakout. Okay, we're looking at this range here, and then in here it's looking great. Looking for this to continue and to explore some of these areas until it can find some sellers, right? And that's what we're kind of looking for here on this weekly chart. All right, so let's look at an hourly here in the bigger picture. And you can see the, well, opening up here. Now, this is also due to rollover, but we had some CPI data this morning, and we'll look at that in Bookmap in just a second here. Again, we're just looking at the S&P right now, so you guys get an understanding of what exactly is happening here. Now, I have this huge gap here, right? Is this something that you think is going to fill here? That's a 60-point move. Now, yeah, of course it can. No problem. Market can do anything. But usually on a pretty big gap like this, maybe you'll get some pullbacks in here. Maybe some levels half a gap, or maybe like the top of this range in here, or I'm not really sure where. I don't really see much in here. Maybe just the bottom of this range here. So that would be basically at the figure here at 4,400. Maybe except for a little bit lower here, shake some people out, get them to go short, looking for a gap fill, and then turn around and come back. That's one scenario. But anyway, quite bullish behavior here, as you guys can see. All right, let's take a look at Bookmap. Here's our CPI data here. Okay. Pretty volatile. Move to the upside, move to the downside, move back to the upside here. And it accepts. Look at the swing here. And it accepted. Well, it actually came down a little bit further. But that was it, right? And it's been all movement to the upside. Again, you can look at these areas in here in terms of market structure and start to outline some areas here. So the first one is the swing here. Okay, so let's mark that up there. And then we can also look at, we know that this was kind of a high here before the data, and then it dropped here. Okay, so yeah, I know that lines up pretty nicely there though, but you'll note like it might be, maybe it'll come back down into these lower areas and then test. It didn't. It just bounced off the top of this line here and that market structure line. That's quite bullish. And then you can see the buyers coming in here. And then not only do they come in here and trade up here, again, look at this pattern in here. And what I mean by pattern is really understanding the order flow and the transactions in here. Order flow had traded into this high liquidity here. The bid's coming up a bit here, but there's a lot more buyers than there are sellers in here. And the pullbacks are very shallow in here. Right, so we would look for buyers to come back in, trade back up here, and try to lift that up into this liquidity up here at 44.10. Okay, and it did that and then some. Continued to break out up to 44.15. Then we get our pullback here, right back to where it broke out from, just about right here. And then we can see some back and forth in here right now. Very strong move here at the cash open. Nothing but buying. More or less, except for this little cluster in here. Right. So anyway, we'll come back into the current price action. I want to review yesterday's action, and we'll take a look at that. So I just took some screenshots here. So yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so this is yesterday's action. And it was tough, a tough session in here to kind of understand here because, we're going through the different scenarios. It filled the gap, and then we're looking for an edge in here. We were making lower highs and lower lows in here during the webinar. You can see 10:30 in here. That's the webinar starts here at 10, and then we finished unfortunately, we finished right before this move and the breakout and the move to the upside here. Okay, so we finished right around 11:30 or so. Anyway, we can see the shift and this change in here. We talked a lot about CVD yesterday in the different swings in here, and then matching that up and starting to understand the volume and the aggressor type in some of these swings in here. Like this one right here, the sellers in here, it's a low volume pullback, and most of the selling is up in here. But it's more buying in here. Okay, and again, in here it was, like I said, I thought it was a bit difficult to read yesterday during all of this back and forth in here. But we can see who won the battle here. Now, look at the volume delta. Okay, so lots of buyers, lots of sellers. Buyers and sellers kind of matching here. It's really back and forth. We don't really, I still don't see any sort of edge in here. Okay, but once we start to see buyers come in here, and once we start to see them in here, it's looking pretty good. We're looking for it to move to the other swings in here, okay, or liquidity in here. And that's precisely where it went. This is yesterday's action during the webinar and then some, right? About an hour or so afterwards. Here's what all of that action looked like yesterday here. And then look at this beautiful breakout to the upside. I mean, this is tremendous. I did not anticipate this kind of move here on a rollover period. Okay, but nonetheless, this is what it did. Why I want to show this is to, again, look at something that gives us an edge in here. Okay, we're breaking out on high volume. Okay, you can see it in the delta in here, all this back and forth here, but this one in here, okay, we see buyers. Okay, look at the sellers in here, a little bit of selling in here. Look at the buyers again, and look at the dots, and look at the price structure. Okay, now the dots here, why I keep referring to the subchart and the delta down here, for several reasons. I think a lot of people are accustomed to looking at the volume in the subchart, and maybe if you're a footprint trader looking at footprint bars, you can also understand the delta, right? But we want to match that with price structure. And we also want to match that with the price structure and movement in here and the liquidity. We need all three in here to give us context. So we see the strong move. Okay, here's the back and forth here, a little bit of selling in here. Here's the strong move again. Okay, and here's the back and forth in here, and look how strong it is in here. Okay, is it moving? Now the dots here in Bookmap are going to show you where it's trading. Here's the strength here in the subchart, but where is it trading in relationship to the price structure? And we can see that in the dots here, and we can also match that with the delta here. This is a strong move. Okay, buyers are taking control here. And this is kind of the move, the type of move that we're looking for on the higher time frame. Okay, that we outlined on these charts here. Right, so this is where you want to kind of look at, sorry about that, hold on. We kind of want to look at the order flow here from yesterday's action. We want to look at it in a bigger picture perspective here. Okay, that matches more with what we are looking for in here. And this is how it can help you. Does it match up? Do we start to see that change in that delta? And yeah, we did. In a big way, we did. It was right in here. Okay, so I hope that that's helps with some of the clarity in here. You will see this again and again and again. It's just how the market works. Right, so look for that strength. We're looking at the bigger picture here, and this is the follow through in the bigger picture, right? Again, this was hard read in here, but it's telling you something in here, and in here, and in here. Okay, so there's plenty of time in here to get involved. You can also look for pullbacks into strength and look for strength to come back in. So for example, in this little area here, let's just let me add the open up the pen tool for just a second and try to detail this out since I only have a screenshot here of this. All right. Yeah, we can look at this trend line in here, but you can even get more aggressive and look at a trend line in here, because why? This is where it broke out from and moved higher in here. Now again, trend lines price is basically price structure, and we're looking for a break of price structure. Okay, and this is back to test that strength in here, and we're seeing more strength come back in again. Great. Let's just try to get back up to the swings here. Maybe you can make it up to this liquidity up here. Okay, and it not only did it, but look at the strength through it. All right. Now again, looking at this in hindsight is easy. When we're on the right edge here, it's a little different. But let's just go through it. Okay, I'm just going to use this as the right edge here. This blank. Oops, sorry. Hold on. This blank browser here. I did it again. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we're looking for it in here, right? Here's some strength coming in. Okay, we look for it to come back up into these areas here. Okay, we look for a pullback into here, and I don't. This is strong here because I don't see it. This is a weak pullback in here, and then yeah, it continues on up. I would be looking for it to come up to here at this point, to be honest. We get one big pullback here, okay, and then we see that strength come in again here. How many times have we seen this move, right? And we're looking for it. We have support. We have the buyers coming in. We're looking for it to come up to a resistance area or a swing or high liquidity. And then we'll take a look at it then at that point, right? And anyway, all of these things kind of aligned, bigger picture, as well as yesterday's price action for some pretty nice moves to the upside here. Anyway, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Wanted to go through that in some detail. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Hector. Okay, your internet is better today. All right, excellent. All right, so anyway, that's what we're seeing in here from yesterday. Now, let's take a look at today. Today, I think, is going to be a little more difficult because we've already had the big move. So if we look at today, let's get back to the daily here. Okay, well, it broke out of the daily range here as well. And you can see that there's some profit taking and a bit of a pullback right now. Now, we just covered what the pullback and our expectations are. This is a big gap. Are we anticipating this gap to fill today? I don't know. I would look for just, like I said, maybe kind of below the swings in here, below the figure in here, and then buyers to come in again. Right, and now we're starting to kind of see that on this 15-minute chart here. So let's take a look at Bookmap. Right, so I'd be looking for these buyers to try to come back up to maybe this swing here at 44.10. Makes sense? So that would be the scenario here. That would be one scenario that we're going to go through right now. So what are we looking for? We're looking for buyers. We're looking for strength. We can look at the same things that we were looking at on that higher time frame. Okay, here it is here. Okay, we can even really drill down in here and look at the strength coming in. Strength coming in, strength coming in. Okay, so yeah, I would look for this to break. And I think we can make it up to our 44.10 here. Okay, let's put a horizontal line in there. So this would be our target. Okay, so let's zoom in here and take a closer look. Okay, we have on the bid here, they're down at 44.01. And we're looking for strength in here. We're looking for buyers. And we can also put a trend line on this guy here. And it's kind of sloppy, but got that one, and then we got this one. All right, so looking for our buyers in here. Not much on the bid or on the offer until higher here. So that's a good sign too. So they're up here at 10. Okay, we're not seeing our buyers up here right now. Okay, see the exhaustion here. Here, let's I think I have some filters on this volume in here. Let me double check. No. Okay. All right, see the exhaustion here. This is not what we're looking for. We're looking for more strength in here, especially like this, this kind of buying strength. Right? Maybe we'll even pull back to here. Okay, so we're just looking at the market structure here to give us some sort of clue yeah, here it is. It is pulling back to there. Now here, I would look for some support, okay, because this is where those buyers came in. All right, so maybe we needed to kind of flop around back and forth in here and then find the buyers down here at 03. And then now we're looking for our buyers yet again. And let's see if we can get back up to 06 and then break out to 10. Okay, let's look at our delta. Here's our strong delta down here, okay, in the buying. And we're not quite seeing it yet here. It's been really back and forth in this range here. Okay, we got a lot of lines in here. I'm gonna get rid of some of these lines. Okay, we're looking for strength. All right, so here comes some strength. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking for this 06 3/4 to test. First is the swing up here, but yeah, I would look for the move up into this liquidity up in here. And let's see it, buyers. We should get it here. Okay, this is the kind of strength we're looking for. Okay, we made it up to the swing. We get some responsive selling here. Okay, a lot of strength there. Now this looks like an iceberg to me because look at all of that buying and where did price go? And I don't see liquidity in here. So let's turn on our icebergs and stops. That looks like a huge iceberg. And it is. You can see that right there. Let's turn on the stops and icebergs on chart. They're still in. This iceberg's still there. That was about 110. It's not that big. Okay, there we go. There's some more strength. It was 600 actually. Hold altogether, 610. Okay, there's our strength. Again, we're up to our 07, 06 and 3/4, and just eyeing this 10 swing up here. All right, I want to talk about, because you can see this is not so straightforward. I mean, it's straightforward. We're looking for strength and we're looking for the move higher. That's pretty clear. And that's, look, that's an easy call to make based on everything that we covered earlier. But it's never that easy trading, right? There's a lot of shenanigans going on in here. There's icebergs, larger players, all sorts of different swings in here. It's gaming this level in here, okay? And you'll see, you can count on this. You can count on it being gamed in here. That's where this makes trading very difficult, because it's going to be gamed. And then how do you we talked about trader psychology and emotions in here, and how do you deal with that? Where do you place your stop? Where do you enter? Where you're looking for confirmation, you're looking for this to continue to the upside here, okay, based on everything we've gone through. Okay? So, and I'm still looking for it to continue. I don't see any other reason to get out of this here. Yeah, there's some selling in here. Yeah, there's an iceberg in here, but order flow rules the day. The overall order flow, until we see lots of selling starting to come in, and we do see some here at this little swing here, okay, but we need to see a lot of selling down here for it to rip down into 4,400, the figure. Okay, but right now we're still bullish. Now we can talk about trade management in here, and again, this is where it gets personal though. You will have to kind of come up with your way of dealing with this, and how you want to place your stop. What's your time frame, what's your risk parameters. All of these types of things need to be considered. Okay, so and we can go through many examples if you like, but we're looking for looking for that strength, looking for that continuation in the bigger picture. Now we can slice and dice it many different ways. Okay, up here we're looking for that strength, remember, and we didn't get it here. Okay, we got some exhaustion in here, so we look for a pullback. Where do we look for our pullback to? To strength. Okay, here, and it bounced there. Okay, and you can zoom into these other microstructural areas in here as well, and then look for strength again to come in. And as you guys know, I like to take some profit up at the top of these ranges. Okay, because this kind of thing happens to me all the time. I can always get back in more, and I can add to the position, or I can be all in, all out, or I can have a really tight stop, move my stop to break even plus, and get stopped out on that second leg and look for the next opportunity here. All right, so there's like 3 or 4 or 5 different ways of managing your trade there. Or maybe you have deeper pockets and you're just, or you're trading your mini or micros, and you're able to place a bigger stop in here. Okay, now we should get a stop run down here. And waiting for it. There's still a lot of buyers in here. All right, I would anticipate right in this little zone in here, there to be some support and some buyers. Okay. And then where did the buyers take control of this? here. Right, so this could be another area here to take a look at. Okay, any questions? We've been going through. We went through a bunch of different scenarios in here to take a look at, and then we went through trade management scenarios as well. And this is why, like I said, I like to take some profit in here, in some of these areas in here. I've just been, for me, it works, and I still believe in the position here. Now it's getting kind of seeing the delta down in these areas in here, and this selling come in is yeah, starting to really kind of rain on the parade here, no question. But we can see if we can get back up above the swing up here, or this where these sellers came in and dropped it here, and let's see if we can get our buyers back up above in here, right? And then for them to charge up into our, not only our 10, but maybe we can get a nicer breakout here. Okay, so here they come. Right now, this is where we need them to pick up, and looking for these buyers in this scenario in here. It's some there they go. Okay, see the green dots there? That's what we're looking for. Now we're looking for them to break here. Should break here on this retest here. I would look for it, and continuation here, right? Because we already had our retest back down to this area here where we were anticipating, right? Before it got down here, we're anticipating this, and why we had, it's the important thing is we had our reasons why. They were looking for support down here. They would also look for support if it came back down a little bit lower as well in here, right? And then we look again for that delta to start to pick up. Is starting to pick up here. So yeah, I'm looking for this continuation and break now of this 07 area. Okay, and I'm looking for 10. Okay, and that's where I take off some as well at 10. Okay, this would be a new position in here, and for me at least, and I would take some off just in front of 10, I think. There we go. There's our break into it. Okay, so yeah, it depends. Like that's a pretty strong move, but I would definitely be taking some profit there. And then let's see now. We got kind of bigger picture stuff here. Now look at this. This is looking pretty strong. Okay, now we're also breaking another resistance area here. Now it's a resistance on the diagonal. Okay. Okay, but how is it breaking it? How is it breaking it, right? This is the scenario we outlined, those big green dots, pulling that market up. So we're looking for 15. Okay, we do have a swing right here at 12, and then also a swing here at 13 and a half. Okay, but the liquidity is up here at 15. So let's see, Tom, you have a question. That's a question I had. When we see a relatively large dot, either red or green, and the price moves in the opposite direction of that color. Yeah, well, so we verified that as being an iceberg in here, that one iceberg. God, I mean, go back and watch the replay on that in this video, because yeah, it just really was telling us that's an iceberg right in here. And the reason it was really simple. We just saw massive buying in here, and this wasn't going anywhere, right? So someone's, and do we see liquidity in here? Now, if we have high liquidity like up here and it's at that area, well, that makes sense. There's a seller there absorbing, like in this area here. Okay, but in this case, there's that liquidity is not there. So we know, we're pretty sure that's going to be an iceberg, and it is. We can, as you can see, this was kind of tricky in here, right? We were still looking for this move, but it had to do this before it got up here. So how do we deal with that? Right? We know that it's strong. We know we see the buyers coming in. We see this strong move up here. So we got the retest back down here, and we would have taken some profit up here, and then maybe stopped out at break even on the way back down, depending on your time frame and your risk parameter. And then maybe you got back in down here, weaved back into it. Okay. And again, like this really depends in here. I would be looking for, I'll be honest, like because of the strong selling coming in here now, depending on your time frame, my time frame would be I would look for, this is like a mini head and shoulders down here, or kind of shoulder, head, shoulder. Buyers up above it, above this little swing here, or this structure here. I would look for a retest back here, but sellers are in control in this area, so I would look to take some profit there. Okay. I would also anticipate the break through this. To be honest, this is the number one scenario actually we went through, and because it's done this clean out move here, it's retested back down here. It did find some sellers, but it also is finding buyers. And once it gets back up above the 0550 here, we're looking for those big green dots, not only to trade back up here, but to break it at this point, because it's already done this move here. Now we're looking for new buyers to come in and move that higher. Okay, and they have. Okay, still looking for new buying to come in here, or yeah, looking for the breakout here of this 11.5 here. Now again, this is not, maybe it's easy this time, maybe it goes right up to 15, right? But let's watch and let's see how this is gamed in here, right? I'm anticipating it to be gamed. It's just too obvious here, right? So maybe we get some exhaustion here. I'll still, let's just go through the scenarios in here. We still got to go through them. Okay, number one scenario is for this to break out. Okay, here's your little cup and handle pattern, all that kind of good stuff, wedge pattern, whatever it might be. You can see it here. Okay, here's the gaming part. Here's the shakeout move. Okay, to where? Probably to strength here, or maybe all the way back down to here. Right, but we're still looking for the move higher. Right, so we can anticipate this in here. We can look for here. Maybe we're going to get a scenario here of leg. Sorry, let me that leg one, leg two. Okay, and then we're going to get maybe who knows what it might do, but something like this. Okay, back on up. Okay, and then a stop run too would be nice to see in this area here. Okay, I'm going to clear the drawings here, guys, but yeah, we can look for this to something like that as a possible scenario. Bigger picture, this is a great area, this 07 here, to get some support. Let's look at some other areas of support. Beautiful channel forming. Maybe we get back and forth here. I don't know. Maybe we get a breakdown to, like, let's look at some of the nuances in here. Boy, there's not much. And this too, we've covered this many times. Even though this is strong selling and this is a low volume pullback, we don't know if the strong selling may come back in here. Okay? That's again why I still, if I was in on this here, I still like to take some profits up here. Okay, but that's, you know, my way of trading or looking at it. But we covered it many times, or a few times now, that we're looking for the continuation and the break now at this point, and get a high volume above all of these sellers in here. And we did get that. That's when we're eyeing our 10 level. Okay, Tom, so let's go through this here. And we can talk more about gaming the market in here. And then how to take advantage of that. So, well, then, you know, we can take a look at this price structure in here, and yeah, maybe we'll get a continuation here back down into like 06. I mean, they're on the bid down here at 06. There's a high volume node down here at 06.5. Okay, and then we're looking for a stop run. And then we're looking for those buyers to kind of curl back in and to get back above the area where the stop run occurred, and for that strength to come back in. Okay, and that volume delta to come back in. Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a period, Tom, like some years ago, or like a year, or maybe a couple of years ago, where we were looking. It was just like we had buyers, we had strength, but like this kind of shakeout or this kind of move, we are anticipating it. It happens so often. It was like, okay, you know, let's wait for this move. It does a little V bottom pattern in here. In fact, it didn't really do a V bottom in here. There is some kind of structure in here, and then we're looking to get back in, and then move back up here. We never know if it's going to continue or not, but we look for maybe taking some off up here and then continuation. Okay, because that's where the sellers came in, and you can see very clearly. I mean, this is where Bookmap really shines. Sellers, and yeah, some buying in here, but it's really buying in here. Okay, above our line here at this kind of 04.5 or 06. Joel, we have Frank Moreno, Spanglish trades on Friday in Spanish, so you might want to come to that webinar. I can show you where that is. Go to the Bookmap Learning Center, and then scroll down, and it's here, Spanglish trades. You can add it to your calendar. All right, let's see. Do we have McLoco in here? He's been away. I don't see him. We covered CVD in some detail in here. and trying to gain from a very, very simple indicator what's going on in these swings in here, right? So, and you can see, look at, here's some strength here on the buy side, but look at the strength coming in and the exhaustion up here at this level here, right? So we're seeing sellers come in. So we would look for a move back down to the bottom of this range in here. How do I appreciate by only looking at volume delta? Yeah, I mean, you can look at, this is why I just kind of, I continue to say the same thing. But you can really kind of read the CVD in here. Like, you don't need CVD. CVD, sometimes it surprises me every now and then. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, I was wrong. But you just look at it visually in here. You know there's a lot of buying here. So that's obviously going to be strong CVD. And then compare all this buying and selling in here just visually, right? It's going to be pretty equal. Then you're going to see some selling strength come in because of the selling here. Well, yeah, here it is, and it made a lower low. It also price made a lower low here, right? And then it's really pretty back and forth. And here we see some buying strength here, and it matches the top here. So we're not really getting much out of CVD here on these swings. Now this is looking really good. Okay, we've rotated back and forth here. We see that there's a lot of buying. They're getting out of the way here on the offer. And just looking for 15 basically. I guess you could say CVD is making a equal low. That's pretty equal though. I guess it's a little bit higher here due to this volume in here on the buy side. Here's one way to look at this is this going to break out here at this point? One of the things that you can take a look at is the strength of the cluster of buying in here. Okay, this is pretty strong. So I would look for this to continue on up to 15 at this point. Just because this is pretty strong in here, so we'd have to have equal or more sellers here at this kind of 11 and a quarter area, or 11, let's say. And we didn't get it, right? So in fact, let's see now, we're getting a retest back down here to this strength. I would assume, and I would look for exhaustion here on the sell side, and I would look for buyers to come back in. Okay, so we see, look at the bid here, pretty strong at 11.5. All right, so we're actually through that area and through that cluster here. All right, so this is the game here I'm looking for, is buyers back up above 12. Okay, that should be a stop run in here. And then looking for our buyers, and there they are. And now, since we've retested this strength here, okay, looking again for buyers to come in and move this up into 15. Okay, there's some exhaustion there, some selling coming in. Maybe it has to retest one more time, but let's see if we get our buyers in here. Yeah, they're starting to come in. Nope. Not seeing those buyers. Okay, so we kind of stayed away from it here. We're looking for those buyers. This is not bad, but we didn't get any follow through on that. And then we had a little bit of exhaustion here. We did not get our buyers, and sellers take it one more time down here. Let's take a look at some strength in here. This is a good area here to consider. Okay, where buyers move that market higher. Okay, and there they are. The buyers are back up above this. Now, again, this is very similar to what we were looking for earlier. Kind of just looking for that right now. A move from here, 11.5 or 11 up to 12. Now, I know that's only a point. That was the same as this here on this move back down and then move back up. And that was good for 3, 2, 6. So that was good for 3 points. Okay, we're looking for the same here now, but just it's 1 point. It's a much smaller range. Same concept, same idea. And not only am I looking for a retest back up to 12, I'm looking for more buyers up above 12 and then looking for this move into 15. Right, so that's a scenario though. We're looking for it. So there's your partial profit at 12. Now I know, like I said, it's not much, okay, but this is the same concept here that we're looking for. And there's a little bit of a difference in this variation here. Look at the sellers here at 13. Now it's one individual seller that has over 200 contracts here, it looks like. See the white line there? That's our large lot tracker, and they just came into the market. And this is aggressive here. I mean, these are passive orders, but they're aggressive because they're below the swing here. Let's see. Ice Mike, do you think order flow is the same during after hours, just slower? Yeah, I mean, the markets are pretty much, these concepts are all the same. But yeah, it can wildly vary in terms of the price structures. A lot of times in the aftermarkets, like you know, I'm no expert on the aftermarket and overnight, but I just see things continue a lot more often, and there's really no one kind of getting in the way. You don't get as much back and forth is what I have seen with these stock indexes. Okay, different markets, you know, different players, different times of day. It's the market mechanics are always the same, right? What lifts the offer or, you know, hits the bid, etc. You need another counterparty to take the other side of the trade. That doesn't change, but there might not be as many players. It might be more volatile. There might be news coming out. You know, it really varies. So we look for the same things, but you have to kind of understand the environment and the perspective, I think, is important. So for example, we have a trader who's a moderator. He lives in Western Australia, and you know, yeah, he's an expert with the overnight. Okay, look at this guy. So I'm looking for that test into 13 here. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, let's see if we get a bounce off of strength here. Now this is where it's tricky in the leap of faith here. We're looking for a bounce off of strength and a move up into 13, 14, and 15. I want to see, this is kind of a bully here who's just showing high liquidity in here, but it looks like buyers want to take them on. Now, we got to be really attentive here about this because it looks good, but one of the scenarios we can go through here is what if, like this cluster of buying in here, so it's not a whole lot compared to over here. So we could see that maybe we get large sellers here. And if we do, this will move back down into this lower, probably back down to 08. Okay, and this will be trap volume, and this will be the stop run here. So how do you handle that? Well, this is where that trade management comes into play. And yeah, I like to be in these, and I look for the move. Okay, now it kind of shot down below, and then we're back up here again. I'm still looking for the move here. I don't think this scenario is going to play out. Okay? I think it's going to be the opposite. I'm looking for buyers up here, and then the breakout, and then the big green dots here on up. Okay? I think that is more likely due to what we see currently. Now here, that scenario is not playing out. Okay, this is the primary here. This is our secondary one, and it looks like the secondary one is starting to play out here, right? And look for the stop run here. So how do I handle it? I get out. I look for it again. I'll take the small loss and look for another one, another setup in here. And that gives me clarity of mind, and look for the next one. Okay, so yeah, we're getting that. Should be our stop run in here. It should be nice too, and it is. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. Well, we have some strength here, and we have some nice, really nice strength in here at this kind of 07-ish area. All right, well, let's see. We can even look at more microstructure in here. Same concepts apply. Okay, we're looking for buyers above 10.5 here. And then 11.5, you'd be, maybe taking some risk off. Shadow, let's see here. You said it's just not volatility slower due to lack of volume. Well, I mean, it depends on the players. I mean, like if when there's a volatile time, let's say news, and people don't know what's happening out there in the market, then maybe a lot of players stay away from the market. But it's at a peak time of trading. Then you can get these wild moves on low volume. Even in the overnight session, like low volume, you can get some pretty nice moves. I'm not sure what your question is, Shadow, or where I'm not quite understanding it. Statement there. All right, let's see. Looks like these sellers are coming in. And the moment I say that, we're starting to see a bit of buying strength. I don't know. I mean, comparatively, if I look at the delta in this move in here, now I don't see a whole lot of liquidity or high liquidity in here, except for down at '08 here. But this is, again, the same type of scenario in here. If we look at all of the selling that came in here, and look at this peak buying in here, this looks like a pretty good area here. And then we're, again, looking for buyers here at this 10.5 here, or 10.25. If I do see that, then yeah, I'd be looking for taking this, because look at all the delta and the volume in here. Right? Oh, here's a new array of buying that's coming in. Okay, so, and I'm seeing exhaustion here, or not much selling. Now I'm looking for buyers in here. Okay, and then they should trade right up to this. There they go. Now I'm looking for them to break out. Okay, because we do have buyers up in here, and I'm looking for the move back up to here, 11.5. Okay, this is more microstructural type of stuff, and let me get rid of some of these drawings in here, but that's what we're looking for. Okay, just getting rid of the drawings so you guys can see a little bit better here. Okay, 11.5 would be the swing here. And it's not ready. It's not playing out. It came up to this swing here, just 10.75. Okay, so yeah, this would be a small loss for me. Okay, I'm eyeing it. I'm looking for it though. And again, now is this like really high probability in here? Yeah, we just saw this in here, right? And we saw this selling in here, but all of this delta in here, like this looks pretty good comparatively. So we're looking for more up here, and then for these buyers to take it back up to at least 11.5. Okay, now look what we have here now. Okay, so we have the bid starting to show some activity here. So they want to be buyers here, right? Sellers trading into it now, right? And here's our shift in delta. You see our buyers here, sellers coming in now. Okay, same market mechanics here on very small time frames as well as large. Yeah, I don't see buyers right now, so I'm staying away. Okay, so there's our move into '08. It should be a beautiful stop run. It is. Okay, below here or into here, okay, which is strength. Right? I would anticipate some buying to come in now. Okay, we've got to get buyers right here at this probably 08.5. And we didn't get any. See? Okay, now what about lack of sellers here? That's a good one. Exhaustion, lack of sellers. Okay, well, you can even Now, it's up to you and your time frame, but you could even trade it up to here, look for those buyers here, and look for the continuation. It's only 3 ticks wide, but it is the same concepts as what we're looking at back in this move here, and trading it back up to here. Right, same exact idea. Okay, now we're looking for our buyers yet again here, and a lift up into our 11.5. I would say 11 first, or I'm sorry, 10 3/4 first. Swing. Go with this. Okay, great. All right, so I would take some off up here. And I would look for the continuation. And I'm looking for 13, 14, 15. Look at the strength come in now. I'm looking for the continuation. I'm looking for sellers to just get out of the way now and let the buyers do their thing. Okay? If I were a big seller in here, I would not tangle with this. I would want to sell at a higher level. All right, so a few takeaways on this. Okay, number one, there were, just going through these hypothetical situations in here. There's a small loss, and then here's a winner. Okay, but what else can I kind of take away from this from for myself? Would be that we traded back down to this level of strength here. We're looking for these other nuanced little strength levels of strength in here, and they didn't pan out. Okay, but the higher time frame one did. So keep that in mind. Looking for a higher time frame levels to instead of getting caught up in worrying about this and that and all these different things in here. Whereas look at you have to be patient and wait for your setup. Okay, the same setup, right? But just this looks better. There's more strength here than there was in some of these other areas in here. Okay, now look at the strength coming in now. It is great. I'm still not only looking for, we've already traded to 13, easily looking for 15 here. Easily. I don't think we did have some sellers in here. Okay, we did. They absorbed this. Okay, this right here. Right, but there's a lot of buying still, and I'm still looking for more buying, and I'm looking for 15. And again, I don't think sellers are going to tangle with this kind of strength in here. They'll wait until it gets up to higher levels. Oh, okay. So yeah, Shadow, you were answering somebody there. Okay. All right, good stuff. See the momentum, see it starting to wane here a little bit, just this little pullback in here. Okay, see the exhaustion up here, just not finding them. We're finding them back up above it here though, so we're still looking for 15. But this is what happens in the market. Like you'll get these kinds of this like the delta in here, or the strong buying, and then it has to kind of take a pause in here, and you don't get buyers in here. Then you do then they do rotate back in, and you get it, and we're looking for our 15. Okay, now 15 just transacted. Okay, and yeah, I would be either taking some off here or exiting the trade at this point. I'm just looking for it to do this. That was my target. There's really no reason to get out of this yet, except that it is just my liquidity level in here. It's still strong buying, so we're looking now for 20. Okay, look at the difference in here. Look at that strong buying. Right, so we're looking for continuation here. Wonderful, Deborah. Yeah, it's a good move. Just as long as you guys can see the strength. That we covered this again and again, and like today I was hoping that would show some good examples in here. And yeah, it's playing out. It's playing out pretty nicely. The other point to get across was the gaming of some of these levels in here. The back and forth in here. And then to start to anticipate some of that as well. Okay, so am I stupid for getting out here at 15 when I was looking for this at 20? I was looking for that strength to continue. Still look good, but this is the downside, and this is where, like, on all these other little moves, I take my profit, and then I give up this. Yeah, it hurts. But that's where you'll have to decide what works for you and what doesn't, and you just have to kind of let this go. Who knows? Like now it's absorbed here or traded into high liquidity here and here, and yeah, maybe all of a sudden we get sellers that come in. But typically I need to kind of many times we've seen this happen in here, and many times I said, well, this is something that I look at to take profits at these areas in here. But these are some of the easy moves and easy trades in here, and it's kind of like, oh God, why? If I know that it's already done its shakeout, is traded into strength here, then I can look for the bigger move to unfold. And it's something that I'll have to work on, get better at. Or maybe I'm just fine with it. Looking for this, look for the next setup, and done. Luis, you're trading the 6E. That's great. Yeah, I used to trade the Forex markets quite a bit. I've got the new contract up, 6E. You can see the rollover really hasn't taken effect yet with the U contract or the September contract. The currencies usually roll later, what I've seen. Right, let's take a quick look at that. Actually, I'm kind of curious. The bonds roll much faster, or the notes, bonds, interest rate products. Volume CME 6E. Let's take a look. Yeah, see how it's still on the M contract here? That's what they're saying. So I'm way ahead of the game here on too far ahead here. We can take a look at the volume and open interest here. Yeah, see how, like, by far mostly June, and September starting to pick up. Okay, but you can see the open interest. See the open interest start to change here, and it's starting to add here. It's just starting maybe. You know, the open interest. Or I'm sorry, no, it's definitely changing here. See it here. Made negative 118K plus 125K. Right, so it should be a few more days. Yeah, and bonds rolled a couple weeks ago. Yeah. The one thing I really like, you guys have seen in here, the market pulse and looking at these correlated markets in here, and then how this has been a really great product for us. I would encourage you guys to try it out. Can take a look at the volume pressure or volume pressure imbalances of these different instruments or the same instrument. Okay, but let's look at some correlated markets in here. So we can look at Apple. Let's look at volume pressure imbalance in the Apple. Let's look at the, I've also got the NASDAQ here. Okay, and we'll also take a look at the 6E. Oh, that hasn't quite rolled. Yeah, kind of quiet right now. Jack, good morning. Iceberg set up around 11. Let's see. Did not see that. Oh yeah, here. Started to really buy in here. We saw an iceberg on the sell side, and I think it was I can't recall where it was. But we knew it was an iceberg. They were just trading right into it. And yeah, we see, you know, a lot of larger players getting involved in here. So Deborah, I would so I know that you're saying that you know, you're waiting for that confirmation. You're getting in like up here, and then getting at the worst place when they move away and go the opposite direction. One thing about that here is, let's just take a look at this, and I would encourage you to go mark this up as much as you can. We talked about this strength in here and the pullback to strength. We see it multiple times in here. Here's a pullback to strength in here on a smaller time frame on the continuation. Okay, here's the pullback to strength down here, and then we're looking for those buyers to come in. And we know, like, this is again like there's a couple things to consider in here. Look for the setup, look for the strength, the move into strength in here, and then now you're looking for the exhaustion, and you're looking for the buyers. Okay, and they showed up. Now you're going to have to take risk. That's a part of the game. How are you going to handle the risk? Okay, but on the higher time frame, maybe you're getting in at the high, kind of high of this little range in here. It's true. Okay, because maybe it'll just turn around, and this is the range between 08.5 and 07, let's call it. Okay, but we're looking for confirmation for this being basically the low of the range here, low of the range, and the move back up into these areas up in here, 13 and 15. Okay, so this is where you are getting in at a good place. Okay, and we're looking at something that's a bit stronger in here than some of that other nuanced stuff in here that failed. Some of it failed in here. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of sound off of the NASDAQ volume pressure and balance. So there's some profit taking up here at NASDAQ, it looks like. Okay, we see the euro dollar in here. They're buying. Okay, that's bullish. Everything's buying now. Great. All right, so into 20, I'm looking for continuation here. Okay, maybe we can get to 25 here. Now this is where this product, I love it. I know Jack loves it as well. You know, look at the confirmation we have in here. Right, we're looking for strength, and not only in this market, we see it in this market here, but we see it in all the other markets too. Okay, that adds to your probability. Okay, so you'll have to do your due diligence and your back testing, and to weave this into your plan here. Okay, but this is market strength across many markets. So where are the sellers? Okay, well, I don't hear them coming in yet. So I'm seeing nothing but strength. This is basically a bit of a pullback here. Okay, and this would be the first pullback I'm looking for right here. And it's already done it. Second pullback would be here. First one's here, second one's here. Okay, so now it's pulled back here. Now we're looking for strength again. Okay, now we're looking for it. Okay, we're not just buying here. Okay, let's look at the smaller structure, this more micro structure in here. And I don't see that strength coming in yet. Okay, so let's see. Let's zoom out. Let's do the same trick as before. Where are we looking for strength? Well, there's some down here. This is a good area, 15, and we know that. Also here, there's some strength. You can see it here. And that's where it swung down to before. Okay, steep pullback. Oh, that whole strong move, and we heard it here in Market Pulse. We're even below it here. So I'm a little surprised about that. But let's see if we get our strength in here at the top of this little range. Yeah, we're getting it. Now let's listen to Market Pulse here as well to start to pick up on the buy side, and we're looking for buying in balance in here. I don't hear anything yet, so I'm not, and we're not seeing it yet either. Okay, what we're looking for it, listening for it. Coming up on European close as well, so we're going to get a little volatility in here. Maybe that's the move in here. Also the you know, time of day and this so euro strength. Maybe some profit taking up here. This is kind of before the session end in Europe, London. You love the market pulse. That's great, Jack. All right. Yep. So guys, you can always go over to the futures room or if you have any questions for me, go to the all markets room and ask in there, okay, about what we're covering in here. So this is not what we're looking for. I'm starting to see some sell strength down here. Well, maybe they'll hit down into here, you know, and we have to pull back to 15 or so. See? Let's see. All markets is great for sure. Yeah. Yeah. We've had some good discussions over there, Jack. Absolutely. All right, a bit of liquidity coming in around this 15 or 16, 17 area here. But again, let's just kind of zoom out and look at the strength in here, right? So and compare and look for something a little bit better. I don't see that buying strength right now. And not yet. Like it's up here and we're below that area. Okay, so here's our retest and we have exhaustion here. But yeah, I'm still seeing sellers. So yeah, I'm looking for maybe, I'm not seeing the buyer step in right now. So I'm looking for sellers to try to push it down to 15, let's say. Maybe they can even go to 13. And think about it. Like if you're a buyer in here, you want to buy into this market, where is it going to be an opportunity for you? Okay, well, bottom of the range, it's not bad. You can see these guys already coming in here and starting to buy it up a little bit. Okay, but wouldn't it be better if you can get down to 15 or 13, 12? You see selling pressure come in, then wouldn't you want to like look for a better price? Okay, thanks, Jack. Sean is Jack is answering you there, Sean. Yeah, I can show you where you can get that. You can go to our Bookmap. Well, it's part of Global Plus. No, I'm sorry. I think it's sold separately. See, look at these guys come in now, right? There's some strength now. Okay, short-lived, but we found some strength coming in. So you know, maybe this is just a more kind of a shallow pullback in here. We're looking for sellers in here to try to take it lower, but we found some buyers interested here. So I would be looking for if we get buyers back up above 18.5 here. Yeah, you can get it as part of the MBO bundle, or you can get it sold separately, Sean. Yeah. So are we getting our buyers? We're getting it in Apple. We're getting it in NASDAQ. Okay. Well, I'm looking for S&P to start to pick up, and I'd go with the strength, and then maybe take some off here at 20. I'm looking for that strength though first. Okay, up here. Okay, another rotation in here. So we're looking at all of these different markets in here, 3 different markets in here, and we're looking for some buying strength and to match the strength here of the S&P. Let's see if we can get it back up here at 18.5 here. Yeah, in fact, I'm looking for it right here. Let's see. This guy comes in and spoils the party. That high liquidity here at 18.25. And he pulls and adds lower. Okay, so see how the dynamic here, like it's kind of shied, buyers are kind of shied away from this in here, that high liquidity in here. See, this is that context and dynamic. Okay, now let's see if does this guy pull? There, he's starting to pull. All right, so now let's see if we get buyers interested now. 17 and a quarter. Nope, nothing. Nothing. Yeah. We got the spread change in there as well. We got a lot of different algos in this market pulse tool here. You can add it to any instrument in here, doesn't matter. And then you can see the different ones that I have here. Liquidation, pressure, that's for the crypto markets. Price change, a spread change, volume pressure, and then the one I'm looking at right now is volume pressure imbalance. And I think this price change is free until end of June. So let's go to the market or the knowledge base here. Let me show you where that is and give you more detail on this. Okay, so go to bookmap.com. Let's start there. Click on the More button. Go to the knowledge base here. And then go to the add-on section in here. Okay, and then we can look at Market Pulse. Right, and here it is. And I'll put this into the chat for you guys on YouTube and in Discord. Okay, and you can get into the details there, read about it, etc. And it has all the links for downloads and all those other details. All right, so you can see like we're looking for it, and the sellers came in and kind of right in here is where that context and that reaction to this higher, we're looking for it here, right? We saw the buyers, we heard it, we did not get it quite here, and then we saw this liquidity come in here, and we want to see either the buyers take those guys on and trade through them and up through there on some strength, else they're going to kind of step aside, and now we have our move to the downside here. Okay, so where are they taking it? Well, we're going to look for some strength in here. We're starting to hit it now. Okay, we talked about the levels, 15, 13. 13 is here. Yeah, I don't know why my line is not there. Anyway, 13 looks pretty good. Maybe 12, but I like 13. Okay, and then I'd look for that buying strength to come in. Where is it low enough to find interest? And we'll see it. We'll see it. That's the key here. We're looking for it. And right now, sellers remain in control. They continue to lower the price here. But where are the buyers interested? Where are the sellers not interested any longer? It's too low. So here we go. Look at this. We have some exhaustion here on this very small time frame, and see the buyers come in. Great. All right. Now, can they reach back up to here, 15, from 13.5 to 15? Okay. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Now, would I be taking this? No, I wouldn't. I don't see it. I mean, like, I'm looking for it to unfold. Order flow wise, this is what I'm looking for, the dynamic in the phenomena here. Exactly this. However, I just don't see the strength. Okay, so I'm going to be kind of picky for that move in here. Right, so yeah, it did it, traded to 15. Okay, now this might turn into a bigger trade. Okay, and you start to look at the again the delta and start to look for those buyers to come in, and we can look now at a higher time frame. Okay, we can use our our tools here with the market pulse as well, and to look and listen for the other markets to start to come in too. And we don't really hear that yet. So, likely just some back and forth here for now. Right, when we get that confirmation from other markets as well, we've seen some really, really nice moves. Okay, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. Thank you all for coming. And why does this always happen to me? Okay, there we go. Anyway, yeah, we'll wrap it up. Please hit the like button if you like this kind of content in here. We saw some pretty good stuff, and trying to cover as much as we can about some of the pain points, I think, for a lot of traders, talking about seeing a clarity in the setup and looking for something that is more likely to play out, but then the trade management behind it. And that's really can be very challenging. That's where trading can get really difficult. And we went through many different scenarios in the trade management and many different time frames as well to consider. So you'll have to find something that works for you on that time frame and your the amount you want to risk. Right. So and then put that together into a plan where you really have something. Right. So like, for example, in here, we noted like, yeah, okay, we're just looking for a move to 15. That was it. Maybe it turns into something bigger, but just 15. And we knew it wasn't as high probability because we didn't see the same kind of strength as we did in some of these other moves. Okay. Now here's a nice little cluster of buying and some strength here. Okay. So I would imagine that we're going to see our sellers going to try to take it further below this. Well, we'll see. Do they have the selling pressure to bring it down below these areas here? Okay. This is a nice place to find some strength in buying here. Okay. And do the sellers really want to try to take this lower now at this point? Okay. Or are we going to find our buyers now? Okay. So we look for it. And we'll see the change happen here on this small time frame. It looks pretty good. I like it already here. Here's our cluster of selling. We get buyers here. Let's see them move it back up to, well, 13.5. Okay, another cluster of some selling down below here. So there is some more selling pressure here. Okay, so if that doesn't work out, then that's where where's your stop in this case? Was it below the swing? Well, you'd still be in this. I hate to say that because it's so obvious. It's right in front of us here. But yeah, I mean, my stop would be below the swing. And in fact, I thought these guys would probably trade into this liquidity here, but now we're starting to find our buyers, right? So this is where it really messes with you, with your trade management. It looks good. We're looking for this. Now, how do you manage it? Okay, or it looks better, I should say. Okay, we're down at some good levels. Now, do we see that buying strength come in? Actually, no, not really. Look at the delta down here. Okay, there's some buying, and if it does pick up, and we see a lot of buying strength up here around 12.5 or 12 3/4, yes, I would look for the move back up to 15. Okay, so my entry would be in here, and I'm riding it at 15 and taking some off. Okay, just that. But I need to see that strength. If I don't see it, I'm not in. Okay, and then I saw some strength in here, just a little bit. It's not really that strong. We're at a good level, but it's not really that strong. Okay, even this is really not that strong. If I see it though up here, then that's telling us something more. We are finding buyers, and that's what we're reading in here is the behavior of these traders in here. And they're gonna tell us. Okay, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like I had the screen on YouTube there. Um, uh, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I was talking about this strength coming in here, and it wasn't really quite as strong. Look at the deltas down in these areas here. But if we do get that strength coming in, now I am anticipating this here. I think we're low enough for some buyers. I'm looking for that buying strength here. It's starting to come. Okay. I'm looking for the buyers to move it up to 15. I'm looking for sellers to get out of the way now. Okay, and let's see if we can get that. All right, rotation back up. All right, buyers, let's see what you got. And now, again, it's starting to pick up. I really want to see it pick up. There we go, starting to, looking good. Let's get up to 15. Okay, the sellers are up here at 15 or 14 and 3/4. Sorry, 15 is one tick higher there. Okay, so Deborah, I hope this helps you. I'm trying to go through this very particular one for you right now. And let's see if we get our change in here. See how it's starting to shift and change though here. Okay, we can see it in the price structure, the liquidity, the volume dots, and the delta down here in the volume bars. Okay, so now we're looking for more buying up here again at 13.5, and then to reach our target here. Okay, at 14 and 3/4. It's starting to come in. Looks good. I would look for this move into this liquidity. Okay, this shift and flow and change. This relates to everything, all patterns. What does this look like here? If it follows through to the upside, what does this look like in here? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay, so and you'll see the shift and change. Usually there's variations of it. High liquidity on the offer, getting filled on the way down. No liquidity, or maybe they're even following up. And look at, see the shift and change here. They're on the bid now. Look at them on the bid. Okay, let's see this dynamic here. Okay, do we have enough? Do the sellers really want to take these guys on? Yeah, looks like it. There they go, right into it. All right, so now let's see if we can get buyers back up above this little level here. So even at 13 and 3/4, if we can get buyers up here, and then look for the continuation. Okay, buyers are here. This is bullish liquidity. Come on, buyers. There we go. All right, so now I'm looking for capitulation on the sell side. And they're not. They're not. It's not ready yet. Yeah. I'm looking for it. It wasn't quite ready yet. We would see that big dot up here around 14 on that move higher. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we will catch up with you on Friday. Okay? Yep. Thanks for coming.